Hey guys, welcome back to a little bit of a different episode of my Diablo 2 playing. Lord of Destruction, of course. I'm going to be doing a review today. This is something that I have been thinking about since I started playing the game and something I've been wanting to do for a while. All I'm going to be doing while I go over this is basically running around, farming, killing bosses, so at least there's something to look on, blah, look at while I'm sitting here, kind of telling you my thoughts on the game. While I do this, the first thing I'm going to talk about is the control scheme of this game. I find that this game has an absolutely amazing and very solid controls. Hotkeys are very easy. As you can see, I can scroll through them easily with my F keys. You can hotkey them to anything else. Something Blizzard has always been amazing with, is using hotkeys, and if you learn them well, it makes for very uh, solid, very easily played games. And once you memorize your hotkeys, I mean, the sky's basically the limit at that point. They do this with StarCraft, they've done this with the Diablo series, they've done this with everything that they do. Hotkeys are absolutely necessary in a keyboard and mouse type game, I believe. I don't think that many people are going to argue with it, but you never know. So aside from that, the controls are amazing. Your character can get faster, your character can get slower. I can't show you right now, but I could possibly switch to one of my very geared characters on another account, but teleporting around is very nice. Uh, Everything about it is just very solid when it comes to controls. As far as controls go, easily a 10 out of 10. I love the controls, if you're good with the mouse, your actions are quick, you can do anything you want, and I love it. There's nothing bad I can say about the controls. And I'm gonna say, I am gonna try and review this game without my nostalgia glasses on, as hard as that's gonna be. Another thing about this game, that's actually not horrible. These I'm definitely keeping. Another thing about this game, graphics. For the time, the graphics for this game are absolutely amazing. There's nothing bad that I can say about the graphics for their time. Uh, as far as they have held up over time, they've held up incredibly well, better than I think most games ever do. For this reason, the videos that play when you play this game are still phenomenal to look at. They're still nice to look at, and I'm always going to enjoy them. If you have a nice computer, back in the day, like look at this, and this is a good time for me to be talking about it. Back in the day, this could make a computer chug. Like just this alone can still screw with some computers. It's pretty much, I think, pre-rendered, but even still, this looks amazing. Every level is detailed. Um, Everything about the graphics in this game are unquestionably amazing. So many different character models that have pretty good detail in them, especially for their time. Everything at the time, you know, it redefined the genre of dungeon crawling. It really did. It defined it. Um, and this is coming from, somebody who's played Diablo 1 and thought that game was incredible as well. So the amount of detail that went into this is honestly a 10 out of 10 to me. There is no question about that to me. Every level's different. Every kind of armor has a different kind of look that it gives your characters, even down to like your weapons can have different colors depending on what's socketed into them, depending on what their attributes are. That's amazing. For the time and what they were working with, they went down to the nitty gritty to make things look nice, and it has honestly held up to the test of time. The next one for me is going to be replayability. As far as games go, this is probably one of the most replayable games to ever exist. There is still a dedicated amount of people that still play this game to this day. There's still tens of thousands of people who log on every day to play this game. It's absolutely insane how many people still play this game. Um, that's because you have 7 classes to choose from. Each one has multiple different ways that it can be skilled, statted, and just be different. You can make 6 different kind of sorceresses. and you'll only be scratching the surface and using the mainstream builds. You could go much farther than that even, and it's absolutely insane that you can go that far. So not only do you have the 7 different classes that you can play, but then you also have the 3 different difficulties. You got normal, nightmare, and hell, which adds even more replay factor to the game. You know, you want to keep playing things in their harder difficulty, which is amazing. Once again, that just adds even more to the replayability. And then, to take it another step further, there is still a very, very, very dedicated PvP community online. Not to mention that it's a dungeon crawler. You have to grind to get better gear. So you've got your magic finders, you've got your gold finders. You have just so much customization you can do, and so many different characters you can make. I've been playing this game for a decade. So if that's any indication of how much replay value there is on this game, you know, I don't know what is. What else is there to say about the game? Controls we did, graphics we did, replayability we did, game feel, general game feel. The game feel on this game is, and even though I'm trying to take off my nostalgia glasses, there's just no way I'm not going to be able to rave about this game. Um, the game feels amazing. Every time I lay down a trap, it feels like I'm laying a trap. Every time I attack, there's a noise. I mean, I hit them, it feels like I'm hitting something, you know, it feels like I'm doing something. My mercenary, when he hits something, you know, you hear these loud hits. I mean, you know, even when you're casting spells on other characters, when you cast a spell, you feel like you're casting a spell. And that's amazing, that they can give you that good of a game feel in a game that's this old. There's much newer games that I have played that don't even have half the game feel that this game has.
Good to see you.
The game has internet play, online play. The grind factor. The fact that this is, in fact, a dungeon crawler means there's the inherent fact that you are going to have to grind for gear. And that is kind of the only downside that I feel that this game truly, truly has. And this is because to get anywhere, the amount of grinding you have to do is rather insane. You can go to Area Summit and look at the different kind of what do you call it, the formulas for finding things, for finding uniques, to finding sets. You have to kill some major time to make it very far into the upper echelons of like PvP and such things. There are people now that have gear that if you are just starting out, unless you spend some serious money, which I do not condone doing, you are simply not going to catch them. And I just have to admit that, you know, people like me, I have a very large amount of stuff. I have very good stuff. I even have a couple hybrid rune words, which are very expensive. If you decide that you want to pay money, I did not. I traded for them, and if you don't use third-party programs, which I do not do, I have never used a third-party program. I do not bot for levels. I do not bot for gear. It is something that I do not believe in. I do not do. It'll get you banned. Don't do it unless you want to risk getting all of your stuff banned, which I've never had happen. I've never had to worry about that. I've had my other account for 6 years now, so I'm not worried about that. So that's the one bad thing, is the price of gear, the quote-unquote price. When I say that, I mean, like, you know, trying to trade for it. Trying to get into the game is, when you're new, can be very difficult if you want to do PvP. If all you care about is PvE, then you are in the right place. You can do this for hours and hours. You can do it for years and still, you know, keep finding new stuff, still be getting better and better. And that's what I like about it. But if I were to say one bad thing, it would be that this game is the definition of a giant grind fest. But yeah, aside from that, I don't know what else I can say for it. The price of the game is down to like almost nothing, to be completely honest. If you go to Blizzard's site and you want to go and buy the game and try it out, it is very inexpensive, so it has that going for it. And yeah, the game just teaches you so well. Character customization is a huge part of this game, an absolutely enormous part of this game. Uh, Most people don't even realize how much you can customize your character when compared to things like Diablo 3, and I'll get into it this time, even though I've tried to keep any kind of Diablo 3 like reviews out of my Diablo 2 play, but I will say that this game has more character customization than almost any other game that I have ever played, and I love that. I can use any stats I want. I can use any skills I want. The world is expansive. The lore is amazing. I've gone and I've literally read every single piece of dialogue that every NPC has to offer. I have not missed a single piece. I have done it, and I don't regret it. It's a wonderful lore. It's a wonderful story, and I highly recommend this game to anyone. Anyone can play this game and have fun. I know people have been playing it for a decade along with me. It's amazing. Probably another only downside, like one of the few downsides to this game, is that there is hacking online. Blizzard, unfortunately, because this is one of their quote-unquote legacy games, they do not put the same effort into it that they once did. A lot of the hacking goes completely unpunished, even though every once in a while they do come through, and they do, pardon me, they do mass bannings every once in a while. Um, but it's nowhere near the kind of dedication that they once put in, because the only kind of money that they're getting from this is when copies sell from like their site, because most of the copies that are in stores are old copies that are warehoused away. They're not really making money for that, and they have to keep these servers going, and that is expensive. So I can understand, as much as it frustrates me, I can understand the kind of lack of dedication for keeping the Diablo 2 servers clean of hacking and stuff like that. So I'm going to try and keep this short now. As an overall game, this is an easily 9.5 out of 10 for me. The only reason I don't give it a clear 10 out of 10 is because of the grind fest, because of the lack of online support, and because as a starting person, if you do want to utilize PvP and you are new, you are at a severe disadvantage. But those are all very secondary when it comes to, controls, gameplay, graphics, character design, lore. Everything about that is 100% there, and I absolutely love this game. I hope you guys really loved my series on it. I am going to keep playing it. I am going to keep posting videos of my landmarks when I go into Nightmare and eventually Hell difficulty in the latter. And I hope you guys enjoy it, and if you guys did, I hope you guys will leave a like, comment, or subscribe. I'm trying very hard to grow my channel. I'm going to be starting some new series now that Diablo is going to be taking a back burner at the most. And yeah, any support, I really appreciate it. And if you liked it, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.